Hello, friends. I'm Rita Boyer, the educator at Prospect Presbyterian Church in Maplewood, New Jersey. Thank you for joining me for the ConnectEd lesson for February the 6th. Have you ever gone fishing? We usually don't do too much fishing this time of year, but maybe in the summer, or maybe you've never been fishing. Imagine that you are getting ready to go on a fishing trip. What would you need to take with you? Tell me what you're going to take on your fishing trip. I'll wait while you think about it. Are you ready to go? Do you know what you would take? How many of you would take a boat? How many would take tackle or bait of some kind? And how many of you said that you would take a fishing pole or a reel and rod? Well, that's the very first thing that I thought of. Many of Jesus' friends were fishers. That is, they fished for a living, not just for fun. No, they got their wages, their pay, from catching a lot of fish. So they needed to have a good day fishing in order to feed their families. They didn't catch many fish. They didn't get paid. And they didn't fish with fishing poles or reels and rods. Instead, they used big nets like this. They would take their boats out into the water and throw the net over the side of the boat into the water. And then hopefully the fish would go inside the net. And when the fishers were done, they would pull up the nets and throw them back into the boat. The heavier the net, the better, because a heavy net meant they had a good catch that day, and that was very important to them. In today's story, Jesus' friends are fishing with their boats and their nets, just like this little guy and his boat and net. The story is titled, So Many Fish. It's from Luke chapter 5, the first 11 verses. And I'm thankful to the people at Seasons of the Spirit for giving us permission to share their version of the story online. So now we'll just let this little guy sail off to see if he gets a good catch of fish while we share today's story. The sun was sparkling on the Sea of Galilee as Jesus stood near the shoreline. There were huge crowds, as always, there to hear Jesus teach. And he wanted to teach them, but there was a problem. You see, Jewish teachers always sat down to teach. There was nowhere for Jesus to sit because there were so many people gathered along the shore. So Jesus turned to look out at the calm waters and noticed two fishing boats. The men who had been fishing in the boats were off cleaning their nets. Jesus walked over to the boats and got into one of them. Here was a place for him to sit and teach right from the boat. Well, the boat belonged to a man named Simon. Take me out a bit from the shore, won't you? Jesus said to Simon. And Simon did as Jesus asked. From the seat on the boat, Jesus taught the crowd on the shore. When Jesus finished, the people left. Fisher, Jesus said to Simon, go out into the deep water. Let your nets down, and you will catch many fish. "Sir," Simon said, "we have been fishing all night, and we did not catch even one fish. Yet, if you say so, we will go to the deep water and try again." Simon signaled to the other fishers in the other boats. The two boats sailed out into the deep water. Simon threw his net out into the water before the net of the other boat tossed in. Simon's net was filled with fish. Simon called to the other boat for help. So many fish filled both boats that they almost sank. When Simon realized what was happening, he fell to his knees. "Get away from me, Jesus," Simon cried out. "I'm not good enough to be with you." James and John, the other fishers, were amazed at all that was happening. But Jesus said to Simon, "Do not be afraid. From now on, you will be catching people, not fish." And when the boats were again at the shore, the fishers left everything there and followed Jesus. That was quite a day of fishing, wasn't it? How do you think the disciples or the fishers felt when they caught so many fish? Happy? Relieved? Because they knew they would get a good pay for the day? Surprised? Because after all, they had been fishing all day and didn't catch even one fish. How do you think they felt when Jesus said, "From now on, you will be catching people, not fish"? Do you think they were confused? What does he mean by that? Catching people? Do you think they were happy that Jesus trusted them to do something that important? That they had a new job with Jesus? Jesus had helped them fish and then asked for them to help him teach people about God's love. Maybe there's someone you would like to teach today's story to. Well, if you go to ppcfaithformation.org on the children's page, you will find this coloring sheet, "So Many Fish." And you will see a lot of fish in this net. Maybe you can color it and then use this sheet to tell the story to someone else. Maybe that's how you can catch people. Would you please pray with me? Dear God, we give thanks that even when we're having a bad day like those fishers, you can turn that around. Help us to trust you and to tell others about your great love. Amen. Well, thanks for joining me. Have a great week. Until then, bye-bye.